I love the Shenmue saga. So much so that I got no merchandise to prove my love for it whatsoever. I want to get posters and stuff, but that's not gonna happen in my lifetime. What's the point of this video again? Oh yeah. Oh yes, Shenmue 2 is one of my favorite games, from that first epic intro with all the powerful soundtracks. But I never played the first game until the re-release on PS4 and other shittier consoles. In this collection we get the two games. They do have some extra features for better gameplay, but most of the game is intact, and that can be a good thing. It may look a bit dated, but still looks impressive, as it was released first 1999. Let's back up a little bit and start from the beginning, huh? Everyone knows Sega, right? With the classics like Sonic, Streets of Rage, Shinobi, and Echo the Dolphin. They also had tons of creative titles that never became that big, but are so much fun to play. But what stuff did they have on Sega Dreamcast? Well, the console didn't live long enough, but they did deliver some good stuff. Shenmue, the battleship of gaming. Released by Joe Suzuki. Best car producer in the world, thank you very much. I drive a Suzuki Splash and I look like a complete idiot. Though I don't think the car is contributing anything to that point. Joe Suzuki wanted to make an RPG open-world behemoth and got to make Shenmue. And even if it didn't sell that much, it sounds so goddamn impressive that it almost sounds like a cancelled project. Now, let's start with a story. It's the glorious 80s, and oh boy, you know I love the 80s. Ryo Hazuki rushes to his house only to find it in terror. A couple of goons led by a strange man is pulling threats to his father before taking his life. Ryo has no chance against the mysterious man and takes a heavy beating. The game starts where you investigate the surroundings and ask around about the horrible night, only having one single clue about a black car the killer drove. A very slow-paced intro that shows us the advanced surroundings. You see, the weather changes during the gameplay. Some days it can snow, some days it can rain, and some days it's cloudy and some days it's sunny. And that was kind of a new thing back then. And all NPCs are interactable and have their own interactions throughout the game. You can see the same guy hanging out in different places at different times of the game. This is common today, but back in 1999 it was a big deal. As I said, all starts pretty slow, but as things progress you realize that the bad guy is named Lan Di, and he's a criminal mastermind, and Ryo's father kept secrets worth to die for.
Huh? There's some writing. Warehouse number 6. No, not here.
So as Ryo, you go far deeper into the rabbit hole by encountering strange men and small town goons. The fighting consists of two elements, QTE, also known as quick time events. This was massive, as no game had mastered it like this before, and it became a huge deal. And the other fighting is real fighting. And the fighting is sort of sluggish. It kind of reminds me of my awkward dance routines. Maybe not that bad. But that's not the only moment where the control stinks. To play as Ryo, where you had to sneak past guards, is like playing a drunk guy pretending not to be drunk. Another part I disliked was Ryo's work as a forklift driver. It takes forever and almost an entire day in the game pass for Ryo's magical adventure by lifting shit and storing shit. I know it sounds like I'm nagging, but I have a really big problem with this. They did keep elements from this in Shenmue 2, but managed to do it in a more professional manner. But when I'm close to giving up, the little stuff shows its shine again. Like Tom, the hot dog man. It's scenes like these that reminds me about something people might overlook in the game.
Ma'am, I found it.
Did you? Thank you so very much.
The game does take place in a small town. Everybody knows Ryo, and Rio knows almost everybody. It's quite beautiful that people actually care for another in this type of game. Sometimes the NPCs interactions can be quite beautiful, just random conversations that end up giving the world a more unique feeling of family and tradition.
I'll ask around for you too, man. Come by later.
Sure.
Being born in a small town myself, I appreciate how people can care for another so much, and it brings life in a game where details make the game to what it is, alongside with a great soundtrack, of course. I'm not joking around here. The soundtrack is amazing. Our physical enemy isn't Landy. In fact, he only appears in the start of the game. Instead, we get this frogman slash Smeagol dude.
Me? Work? For Landy-sama? That's my dream!
He's nothing short of just a plain lunatic, really. But I guess we had to put down all the money into making the game, and the atmosphere and the characters and the story and making the gameplay work. So, you win some, you lose some, I guess. In the sequel, we get tons of better gangsters as enemies, and the build-up is way better. Here the guy just pops out of nowhere, and is kind of out of place. Shenmue crafted this gigantic legacy to the rest of the world of gaming. Today, games have very high standards, and I think Shenmue played a very big role in crafting what modern day gaming looked like. It may be a bit dated today, but there's still some classic things going on in there that is very important for the rest of the gaming industry. Overall, I enjoy the game for its details, characters, and exploration. Once I finished the game, I heard the epic words saying, "The saga goes on." And it did. Shenmue 2 was not a big success, but neither was the first game, and, at long last, Shenmue 3 is coming out next year, unless something delays it, as in usual fashion. If you're a fan of point-and-click games, you usually have a lot of patience, and I believe you're the exact type for this type of game. It takes lots of patience to play Shenmue, but if you take the time and enjoy the atmosphere that you're going yourself into, I think you'll have a time of your life, and I totally recommend this gameplay to you. I prefer Shenmue 2 a bit more, but I still had a good time playing the first Shenmue, and talking about it gives me the goody jolly times in my stomach. Whatever the hell that means.